Billions of individual decisions, not a single command. This isn't human, this is the hidden world beneath our feet. A silent, decentralized force constructing marvels. Welcome to WildLeadTube, where we verify the hidden brilliance of the animal kingdom. Termites, tiny architects, build structures so vast they dwarf human cities proportionally. These aren't just dirt piles. They are climate-controlled megacities, perfectly ventilated, supporting millions. How do they do it, without a central blueprint or a single leader? The answer lies in swarm intelligence, a concept challenging our very understanding of complex design. It's a system where simple rules, followed by countless individuals, yield astonishing collective outcomes. This isn't theory, this is documented science. We often assume grand designs require grand minds. Yet, these insects, each with a brain smaller than a grain of sand, create masterpieces of natural engineering. This pattern is far more common in nature than you might realize. The scale of their achievement is staggering. Some mounds reach over 20 feet high and span hundreds of feet wide underground. Imagine a human building a structure kilometers high without any central planning. But to truly grasp this, we must look closer, beyond the surface. We need to understand the individual behaviors that collectively give rise to such breathtaking complexity. Let me show you how. For centuries, these towering structures puzzled scientists and explorers alike. Early theories often involved a master architect, termite, or some unknown central command. This was the only way humans could explain such order. It seemed impossible that millions of blind, tiny insects could coordinate such an elaborate project, yet they did. Their colonies, often older than human civilizations, thrive in some of the harshest environments. The key is not intelligence in individual termites, but in the system itself. Each worker follows a few simple, hardwired rules: deposit soil where pheromone concentrations are highest, or repair damaged walls. These local interactions, repeated by millions, create global patterns. It's a classic example of emergent behavior, where complexity arises from simplicity, an insight verified by decades of research. For instance, research published in Smithsonian Magazine highlights how specific termite species, like Macrotermes michaelsini, actively regulate temperature within a few degrees, despite external fluctuations. I've linked the source in the description. This isn't accidental. It's a dynamic, self-organizing system. The mound breathes through intricate networks of tunnels that act as lungs, drawing in fresh air and expelling stale air. Your own home needs constant energy to do this. The colony essentially acts as a superorganism, far exceeding the capabilities of any single termite. This collective genius is a blueprint for understanding decentralized systems, from ant colonies to human traffic patterns. But the sheer elegance of their engineering is what truly sets them apart. Imagine building a skyscraper without engineers, architects, or even a basic plan. That's what termites achieve. The pattern is always there. This collective intelligence isn't unique to termites. Ant colonies exhibit similar decentralized problem-solving, finding the shortest paths to food sources without any leader telling them where to go. Birds flock, fish school, and even neurons in your brain fire in coordinated patterns, all without central command. It's a fundamental principle of complex adaptive systems. Humans often centralize power and planning, believing top-down control is essential for order. Meanwhile, nature's most efficient systems operate with complete decentralization, achieving incredible resilience. Consider the fungus gardens cultivated by certain termite species. They meticulously maintain conditions for fungi that break down cellulose, a crucial food source. This requires precise humidity and temperature control. These gardens are miniature ecosystems within the supercity, self-regulating and incredibly efficient. No single termite understands the entire process. They just follow their simple, local rules. The second half changes everything, revealing how scientists are now learning from these ancient builders. What if we applied these principles to our own problems? This phenomenon, known as stigmergy, is a form of indirect communication. Termites modify their environment, and these modifications trigger responses in other termites. The environment itself becomes the message board. It's a silent, constant feedback loop, allowing millions to coordinate construction without spoken words or written plans. This sophisticated communication method is far more advanced than many human systems. The trick is simple, yet profound. Each termite acts as a tiny, autonomous agent. They don't need to know the big picture for the big picture to emerge perfectly. It's truly astonishing. Here's how it actually works. A termite deposits a mud pellet imbued with a pheromone. This chemical signal attracts other termites, who then deposit their own pellets nearby. This creates a positive feedback loop. As pillars rise, they naturally merge into arches and then walls. The chemical cues reinforce successful structures, guiding the entire colony's construction efforts without a single central command. A study in National Geographic detailed how these self-organizing processes extend to complex ventilation systems. Computer models showed that simple rules alone were sufficient to explain the entire mound architecture. You'll find the source link in the description. While human engineers spend years with CAD programs and vast teams, a termite colony builds complex, self-repairing structures from the ground up, with no blueprint, no hierarchy, and incredible speed. This isn't a flaw. This is the feature. The system is inherently robust. If one termite fails, millions more are still operating. It's a level of redundancy and efficiency that human systems rarely achieve. The collective intelligence guides not just construction, but also foraging, defense, and even waste management. Every aspect of their supercity is a product of these simple, decentralized rules. Understanding this mechanism changes everything. It reveals a form of intelligence that isn't about individual genius, but about the power of networked, simple interactions. What makes this dangerous today is our failure to learn from it. Right now, our own complex systems, from traffic management to supply chains, often struggle precisely because they are too centralized. The same patterns of inefficiency and vulnerability emerge when a single point of failure can bring down an entire system. We could learn so much from these tiny engineers. While our modern cities grapple with overheating and soaring energy costs, termite supercities maintain perfect internal climates, relying solely on passive ventilation and collective effort. Architects and engineers are now actively studying termite mounds for biomimicry. Buildings are being designed with passive ventilation systems inspired by these insects, drastically reducing energy consumption. This isn't just about saving energy. It's about building smarter, more resilient infrastructure. Imagine cities that self-regulate, adapt, and even self-repair, just like a termite mound. The principles of swarm intelligence are also being applied to robotics, logistics, and even artificial intelligence. Decentralized algorithms can solve complex problems faster and more robustly than centralized ones. The question is no longer how do they do it, but how can we learn from them? The answers are literally built into the landscape, a testament to nature's enduring wisdom. This is not a metaphor. This is the design. The natural world offers blueprints for resilience and efficiency that we are only just beginning to decipher. Before I give you the 3 takeaways, consider this: the sheer volume of data, the millions of decisions, the constant adaptation. It's a living algorithm, centuries in the making. Recent research, often published in journals like New Scientist, continues to uncover new layers of complexity in termite behavior. From their precise material selection to their ability to adapt to changing environments. All sources are linked in the description. So what should you take from this? First, understand that complexity doesn't always require centralized control. Simple rules applied at scale can generate astonishing order. Second, recognize that nature holds the most elegant solutions to many of our engineering and societal challenges. Biomimicry is not just inspiration, it's a proven design philosophy. Third, build resilience into your own systems, whether personal or professional, by embracing decentralization and feedback loops. Protect yourself from single points of failure. The termite supercity is a living testament to the power of bottom-up intelligence. It reminds us that wisdom isn't always found in the biggest brains, but often in the most humble, persistent, collective effort. It is mathematically impossible for a single termite to conceive of such a structure. Yet together they build them. This isn't magic, it's the physics of collaboration. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The pattern is always there, in nature, in society, and even in your own life. Understanding this changes everything. If this opened your eyes, if you finally understand that intelligence isn't just about individual brains, then you're starting to see the bigger picture. Subscribe to WildLeadTube, because our next video will uncover the shocking communication secrets of deep-sea creatures. How do they talk across miles of ocean darkness? The more we learn, the more we realize they're smarter than you think. Keep exploring with WildLeadTube. WildLeadTube has the answers. I'll show you where to look.